Hello everyone, how good of you to join and welcome back to Railway Empire 2 and to our triple city growth that we have there right now. We got the Grand Rapids, Chicago and Toledo in the last episode, and all three of them are growing really fast or really quickly at the moment. And also Cleveland has upgraded there. Of course, the better cities, right? The bigger cities, the more passengers, the more mail, the more profit ultimately. So this is our goal. We have a mixed train here, commuting on this line at the moment, making also a nice profit there. Our profit is at 500,000 around that. I'm intending to get this one to 600,000 now soon. We're also in the last year of 1839. That means that our new researches are going to be available now soon. I would also like to say that in Montreal, my ceramics factory is finally making some profit here. So the total profit so far has been, a bit disappointing. But the profit per week is finally positive. That's because those cities, especially also Montreal here and New York City, of course, are big enough now. And in New York, I might want to check out something else. Yeah, I thought as much. We might need to get rid of one of them here. Look at how much grain and corn we have in here now. That's just beautiful to see. Especially lots of grain that is going out to Bangor and Philadelphia and Washington where it's needed. The same goes with the fruit, of course. I might need to get rid of one of them. I think we don't need the beer here. And instead, I would like to put the ceramics in. Oh, and we've reached 98 million share or company value. Isn't that nice? There you go. Ceramics we have. This means that from Montreal we can start the exporting now of ceramics to New York City, and not only to New York City but then also to Philadelphia and Washington. Washington definitely needs it. Yep. Philadelphia, I think with a tier 4 will not need it yet. So we still need 20,000 people more before Philadelphia will also need that. So let's have a quick look at that city here. What is required? Grain, corn as always, beer, that's interesting, and sugar. Vegetable, milk. Actually quite a lot now that I think about it. There is the milk, right? So why is it not getting over there to Philly? There is the train. It's probably because it's using it for export. No, there's still not enough in. We need to monitor this one closely. Why? I mean, we have plenty of milk there in Adams train station. Couldn't be a problem then, right? Okay, look at that. It's full of milk for Philadelphia. So it's also not bound to any other city. So no idea, perhaps this was just a coincidence, but that should be fine. And there you go, another upgrade to Chicago, tier 3 city it is, and with that we need to provide a few more goods. So what has been coming up now is milk, vegetables, pretty important. The cloth industry needs wool. Let's just have a quick look around. There's vegetables, there is grain, we definitely will need some grain. There is a road connection of course, but we can do better than this. And there's the milk over there, right? Milk is also not coming in. And there we have it. So once again, we do need 3 more train lines going to Chicago now. Lucky us, we still have 3 platforms available. Though I'm not going to, of course, use 3 lines for 3 platforms. That would be a waste of platforms, as after all. Yeah, okay. We pay once again. I rather take the payment than the sabotage. And let's quickly go ahead with that, taking 2 interesting points here. And then we are going ahead with some grain. So I figured it's much better to use cities as a hub for those goods than rather than taking those cargoes along a mixed train. You just can't get the volume up there for the bigger cities, right? So if we want to go for bigger cities, we need to have dedicated train routes delivering the goods. We might also purchase those businesses then, exporting that from a city then to other cities. That is my goal here. Oh, wait a second. We don't have a supply tower close by. Yep, let's have one here. Oh, where is it going? Yeah, it's going this way anyway, so that should be fine then. And this is outbound. That's already pretty well utilized. I think platform 4 is actually still to some extent available for us. So let's go ahead and make this one also. I hate those towers. Does it automatically go? I think it does, right? Yes, this looks good. Yes, the tower is automatically doing this. And let's extend the grid iron then for that. Not possible? Alright, then we need to get rid of that supply tower there after all. There you go. This is possible then. Because I definitely want to have as many lines connected with one platform as possible before it gets overwhelming for it. So let's actually also go ahead and make number 4 available then. Number 4 is going somewhere else though. And here we can then get out towards that station. Granted. And can we still get this supply tower in here somehow? That would be amazing. Nah, not like... Oh, wait a second. There it is. Perfect. As tight as possible. Then we're going ahead with the grain that we definitely will need at some point. This one is going to be interesting.
Your thought process is strange. Are you trying to confuse?
Is he trying to intimidate me, flatter me? I don't know what he actually intends to do there. Yes, this is too tight, so we will face some problems. This looks good. A tiny tunnel we have, but that's it. Right, and on the other side, I would like to use the same platform here, so this one. We might actually go also for that. So here we can definitely also take 2 out again. That goes then to milk. So that grain and milk share a platform, which is fine. It's just one train for each line. And in that case, I don't think that we're going to face too much of a traffic there. Very good. 64 railway stations. Thank you for telling me all the time. And of course, these dedicated ones will also need a supply tower. Let's have it very close to Chicago and on the other side as well. And Chicago, by the way, does not have... Oh yeah, we have a maintenance, but no warehouse yet. There you go. There's the warehouse. And with that, we can then also choose the goods right away, of course. So the grain, we're definitely using for export. What was it then? I'm getting old. Vegetables. Vegetables it is. Wool, not. Wool we are consuming in Chicago, but the primary good here is going to be vegetables. And milk. Milk is the other one. I've seen it somewhere. There it is. Because we definitely want to get the milk over there to the other cities too. That's that. And with that, we can just basically create the lines. And by the way, yeah, almost 600,000 now. Happy to report. Go ahead and make this one a freighter. Yeah, it's a one-way, I know. And then the other side too. Once again, also using the same platform. And here we definitely will need to choose the number 3. Can we do this from that? No, I don't think so. Platform number 5 it needs to be actually. And you know what? I think I made a mistake. This is really confusing. The milk is now using the wrong platform. Absolutely. We need this platform here for the milk. So I will need to get rid of the milk again. Now it's right? It's the innermost platform and not the outermost that we have available there right now. Let's confirm. And then one more train line for the grain. And what platform is being used here? That last one. It's the only one that we can actually use. There's still one more platform we can add to Chicago. Right. So that's a lot of new goods coming in now. Very good. Only for Chicago right now. The cargo is bound. And you're taking what? There you go, vegetables. That's the important one. So we can keep this city growing. And so the city continues to grow. In the meantime, we focus a bit on the older tracks that we have right now. One of them is Pittsburgh, Washington, with a couple of terminals in between. And those train lines are a bit buggy at the moment, right? So some of them are delivering, for example, taking grain to Washington, and from Washington the grain to Pittsburgh, right? So that is an interesting choice of the game that it's doing that. So what I'm doing is I'm going to delete all the lines that are on this system there, right? So all of them are gone. And I think there's nothing now, right? So, oh, there's still. Very good. Let's have a look at that. That's a grain trainer. And then we still have one more. That's this one here. What is it doing? It is delivering... it's taking actually the southern area. So why is it up here then? Route stop. There we have it. Stewart terminal.
If I watch you
that's up here. So why is the train down there? Right? That's one of the major things, the major problems that I have here to understand. Now, with that, we should really have everything gone perfect. Let's continue onwards. Here, we do have a bit of a problem there. So by now, I think I figured it kind of like out how this works, because you cannot just merge a track with another existing track. The game somehow doesn't place a signal on it. So that means that trains wait forever for the other train to arrive to get into that same system. So what we need to do instead, first I'm going to get rid of this, and also of this line here, right? To a certain point, right? And then we're going to take those tracks that we have now. Go ahead. Number 1. Let's make a parallel one. Number 2. And let's also take number 3 in. So we can really use a lot of tracks on this. And let's also take number 4 in. Right, the more the better. Can already build a gridiron. Perfect. Now there's the gridiron. And that's the important thing here. The gridiron has now the signals, right? So I need to use the waypoint from the gridiron to get away from here. And not just merge, not just take any tracks here and, just merge them with this one, for example. This would not work, which is staggering to me. So I've tried it a couple of times now, but just merging them together like this does not work because the game doesn't place a signal there. And there's no signal, manual signal that I can place. So we need to use the gridiron to place the signals. Very important to know. And let's continue onwards. I'm going to use then the outer tracks here, the 2 of them, to connect it with the older system again that we already had here, right? So this should be fine, this is fine, and then the other one too. So only now do we really have then a signal on those posts. There you go. This is connected again. We should still have that route here then, right? Somehow working. It is then also taking the train that we have. Just see, there it is, on its way to Pittsburgh. Yeah, continuing onwards, right? So let's just have a look at that. This should be fine. In Pittsburgh, it uses platform number 3, please, which is one of the least utilized ones that we have in here. Let's also make sure that we have the right direction. There you go. Because this is always important. The game otherwise will not choose the right ones. Now we can choose. There we already have now a double track system all the way to Washington, which is perfect for us. And we can continue and use now the waypoints that we've created here to continue onwards to Washington. So I'm going to have one here. And then the other one here. And also very important to know, if I want to now afterwards get another track to Pittsburgh, I cannot just go in like this, right? This would be crazy. We need to use the waypoints from the gridiron to connect it now, and only then does it work. So this is also something that I've just learned really, and so many things to learn. That is working. Now we have this system here. Let's just also make sure that we have a gridiron right in front of every station. This is also once again very important if I want to use several platforms here, right? Let's just make sure, wait a second, in Martin's Rest. The reason why I need to do this is because we're going to have specialized grain traders on this route that will need to stop on these platforms. Let's just make sure platform cannot end in a tunnel. Here I can do this, right? Please tell me. Yes. Here it's getting a bit tricky because there's the tunnel system. And unfortunately, you can't have a gridiron in a tunnel. That is also something that's a bit annoying because sometimes you really just need that. In that case, let's just try to build that tunnel. Bear in mind, I cannot stop the track construction in a tunnel, so I need to get that track outside of the tunnel before I can place anything on it. And unfortunately, this will not work because there we don't have enough space. This is aggravating. What can I do? I can try to make the gridiron work here. Get rid of this one again and try to use the waypoint from the gridiron that we have to make it somehow work. Unfortunately, that's not going to work either. As you can see. So that's a bit finicky, right? I would have to move the whole station. And I think I have no other choice. We're not using any trains here at the moment, so this is fine. But unfortunately, that's how you need to do it. And let's just make sure that there is no need for a tunnel close by, right? So I'm trying to make it work like that. As far away as possible. So that we still have the max speed. That's perfect. And then here, Here it gets tricky now, because there's also a bit of a slope now, as we can see. Right, that looks better. And then we have the... Yeah, this is all ideal again. This is better. Alright, let's just hope that we can make a gridiron out of this time. Number 2 follows along. There is a very steep incline here. This is going to be also problematic for my locomotives. Even though we have the upgraded locomotive soon. Alright, and there's track number 3. And now I should be able... Yes, now I'm able to... Here. Right, so there we have it now. And theoretically, why don't you let me build a tunnel here? Instead of getting into this ridiculous... So, there it is. Right, now we have 0. We have a bit of a longer tunnel that will cost me 1 million, but come on. And let's build that. Right, and then we can use this one here too to get to the other side as well. And the slope is way smaller now this time. There's only a bit of an incline here, but that's it, right? Much better. And we have connected it. In route stop, things are getting even messier. I will probably also need to delete route stop. There is no way that I can do this any other way. We need to reduce the amount of tunnels that we have in this area, unfortunately. But we're learning from past mistakes to not redo those things. Get rid of that. And then we have the sugar, of course. Sugar, very important. Washington, already. I should pause the game probably because I deleted a lot of lines now. And of course, Washington is shrinking a bit because those goods are missing at the moment. And then we can also get rid of that. There is the sugar. But let's just make sure this time we are far away from it. Very good. Very good. And then a platform number 3 all the way to this point there. And this should be long enough. Thank you very much. It is long enough. Holy cow. That was nasty. And now we can continue onwards just normal. This one and back again. This is just a straight track system there. All the way to steel terminal. There is still one of... What? Alright, there also do have this mistake here, right, that we never should repeat. And I think Washington is fine now, right, but here we still need to fix that. Going into this part and then into this part. Then I can still go ahead with the 3rd platform. There you go. Make a gridiron here again. There you go. And the same thing we can do on the other side. There you go. Now we have this working. Now I can finally make some specialized trains on this. We still need definitely some, let's just check it out here. Martin's Rest, we have of course still a platform 3 that I will need. I mean, Martin's Rest to Pittsburgh is just really tiny, right? This system, but still, you need that grain because in Pittsburgh we have the beer production. So that's just something you absolutely need. Yeah, and now we can start with first the supply towers, of course. One here. And then one somewhere in the middle here. Probably. I mean, there is one. Perfect. Alright. Now we should be able to do this. Let's go Martin to Pittsburgh with the grain, right? So this is only going to be grain with one locomotive, end of story. I still need to do the directions. There you go. Here the same thing. And over here the same thing. Perfect. That's it. Then I can create a second train that takes the grain to Washington directly. And it's going to choose platform 3 for the grain. And in Washington, honestly, I don't really care that much. Probably one of the outer tracks that we are not really using that often. That should be fine, right? This is just for grain now. Because we just need that amount of grain over there. Check it out. There's now 2 trains starting at the same time. This might be a problem. So they might not be full. This one is full for Pittsburgh. This one is not really full. That's because we've depleted the farm at the same time. But that should be fine for the future. Then we have, let's just see. Then of course I still need to have the connection directly between Washington and Pittsburgh, right? And this is going to be a mixed train that is just delivering the goods back and forth, also passengers. I'm not really expecting that much demand out of that. Let's make 2 trains on that. No specialized cars. Right, that's one thing. And then we still have the wool. The wool for Washington should be fine. The sugar is another business. So the sugar, let's get the sugar over to Washington as well with a freighter. And we're going to pick, of course, platform 3 in route rest, so we don't interfere with any of the passenger or mixed trains that are passing through, all the way to Washington. And here we can also choose then a platform that has not been utilized that much, number 5. Oh, yeah. Why does it not choose a train there? I was actually going for a freighter, so that's fine. And as we can see, they don't interfere with each other now, right? So we got this one and then this one here. Alright, let's just hope that this works. And then we continue onwards in the next episode. Bear with me. New research is going to unlock then. Stay tuned.